Video intro. I should go.
This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Ooh. I know it's tacky to sing to your own theme song, intro music, whatever. But I'm excited. Let's fucking go. A little late in the week. It's Thursday. It's during the day. I usually record at night. My girls are out. The in-laws are back. They're over there doing girl stuff. I don't know. But so I'm here. I'm here grinding. I've been grinding all week. This is a pretty tough challenge, if I'm being honest with you. It took me a little bit to confirm the slime ball. And, I want to go 2 weeks in a row winning that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Motherfucker. I want to win it. And I've been locked in. I've been locked in all week. This is going to be a card where I feel like a lot of dogs are going to win and a lot of people are going to win money, or it's going to be all favorites. I don't see it being really mixed in, right? I don't see like every other fight a dog winning. It's either going to be a clean sweep on either side. I think there's a lot of interesting fights here. I think there's some trap fights. Obviously, I'm going to give you my picks. I'm going to give you my bets. I'm going to give you my locks. At the end, I'm going to give you my slime ball. I want to announce right off the top of the show, we'll no longer be tweeting out my slime ball. My apologies. I love my Twitter followers. If you DM me, I'll give it to you. But really, I want people to listen to this content. I want people to be on the YouTube. I'm putting a lot of time and effort into trying to make it sound good, trying to look good. Production things, all this, and if people just text me and go, or tweet me and go, hey, what's the slime ball? They're missing out on the content. So there will be graphics or whatever. You can save it if you add. We're gonna try it out for a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna try it out. I'm actually gonna be third party track now. I'm not gonna do bet MMA tips just because I've had a rant before, guys. It's a little clunky for me, just a little bit. So I go My Action. I'm going to put that in my Twitter bio for this weekend. MyActionApp.com. They don't have all the bets, unfortunately. Bet MMA Tips is far superior. I mean, far superior. But since I've always been to the belief that if I'm not selling my picks, why do I need to track them? But, that's what people do, so I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do it. If you're a capper, you're going to do it. Maybe that's how you get a little bit of respect. I don't know. But we can dive into this motherfucking card, okay? Let's dive in. It's juicy. I like a lot of fights. And we'll see what the fuck happens here. Let's switch to this screen. Bada bing, bada boom. Switch to this screen and we'll go first fight of the night here. We have, and these names, guys, do not hold me over the coals for these names. We got Ramis Ramis versus Sasha Palatnikov. I think I kind of nailed that. We got Barrage at -135. We got Palatnikov at +115. Very interesting fight. I was on Ramis, his UFC debut. I think it was his debut. Was this his debut? Fuck, I don't remember. Either way, I was on him against Max Griffin. He got his fucking head exploded. Homeboy got his head exploded. Not really his ear, just fucking pop. And he's coming in a little slight favorite here. He likes to get the fight to the ground. He's aggressive. He's strong. He appears to be pretty fit. I've been watching a lot of English shows, and the English say fit. That was his debut. I just double checked there. So Palatnikov is a guy who's kind of interesting. I feel like I've heard this name for a little bit. He represents China. He's from Buffalo. He's got an interesting story. I believe he's out of Vegas now. And he looked good in his debut. He looked good. He looked like he had good hands. He showed good toughness. And he ran into my boy Impa Cannonier, and Cannonier dropped to 170. He looked absolutely shred fucking city. And, he fell a victim to a rear naked choke. In this fight, obviously you got a dog here at +115. Slight dog money. You're not getting great on your price. Ramis he seems strong. He seems like he can take this fight to the ground and probably end up a submission. I think that is the square play. I think that is going to be what most people think. I think this line maybe will climb up. I got these lines yesterday. Was planning on doing the podcast yesterday, but shit happens. I think the lines are going to move a little bit here. However, I'm going to go Palatnikov. I'm going to go underdog here at +115. I like his striking. I think he learned a lot about the Impa fight. Impa's a special kind of guy. He's very athletic. He's very strong. And even though I don't think he's as good on the ground as Ramis is, I do think he creates his own problem. I got a guy outside just revving his fucking motorcycle, revving it in his driveway. Probably won't take off. So if you hear a little bit of rumbling, it's asshole across the street just fucking revving it to let all the chicks know he's got a motorcycle. No one cares. Still got a small dick, bud. But yeah, so I'm going to go underdog here. I'm going to go Palatnikov. I don't see a lot of people taking these Palatnikov. I will say, since it is later in the week, I have avoided all of my podcasts I listen to. I don't want to be influenced. However, I've been on Twitter a lot, right? I've been searching on Twitter. A lot of people tweet out their picks, guys I respect, give them their leans or whatnot. There's a lot of picks that I was very confident in that are now out the window. And, or maybe not out the window, but maybe really had me second guess myself. This fight, I don't see a lot of people talking about. I feel like this maybe is a pass for most people. I'm going to leave Palatnikov here. I think he's better on the feet. I think if Ramis did slow down the Max Griffin fight as well, appears to be a tough kid, but I like Palatnikov. I think he is the better striker, and hopefully, homeboy learned a little something about the Impa fight because he got taken down, got choked out. Let's just hope he learned a little something. All right, next fight here we got Roosevelt Roberts minus 115 versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I am so pissed that white people, I'm a white guy, believe it or not. We have, for names for boys, we have Chad and Brad and Thad. There's Thads out there. And I believe Ignacio is Mexican descent. I think he is not Mexican. Where is he from? He's from Chile, Santiago, Chile. Excuse me, Ignacio. But he's got an awesome name like Ignacio. Like if I had a son, I have two beautiful children, two beautiful girls. If I had a son, I would love to name him Ignacio, but that's cultural appropriation. I'm going to have to just stick with the Brads and the Chads. Ignacio Bahamondes is probably one of the coolest names ever. Like I would name, if I had any kind of ethnicity in me, like cool background or anything, I'm just a white dude, like white through the fucking if I spit in a 23andMe thing, they'll just come back white guy. So if I had any ethnicity in my background and cool history, Ignacio Bahamondes is the fucking sickest name. Now to the fight. This fight, this is a tough one because I was actually high on both these guys coming off the Contender Series. Roosevelt Roberts looked like a dog, looked like a killer. Good chokes, good striking, decent wrestling, kind of puts it all together really well. Bahamondes, great kickboxer, comes from a great kickboxing family, a fighting family. Had his UFC debut against John Makdessi. There it is, found it. Lost a split decision. I had him big in that fight. That was one of my first early, I shouldn't back and put multiple units on a guy from the Contender Series who hasn't really proved anything yet. That was my first experience of that. But Bahamondes is a guy that I was very confident in, and I backed him, and I'm still going to back him. I'm taking him at plus 130 here. And I mean, I hate to motherfucking do it to you so early, but
we need more dogs.
That's a little new soundbite there. That's an underdog play. Dog lock, Bahamondes. I don't have a ton of locks. I don't have a ton of dogs in this card. And I look at this. Roosevelt Roberts has slipped a little bit. He's been caught before. He's been caught by punches. He's been caught by submissions. He hasn't fought in a little bit. We haven't seen him a little bit. So maybe he is kind of righting the ship here. The only issue I'm going to have with this fight, and I'm very nervous about it, I will bet it. This is going to single play. Do not parlay this. Do not parlay this. Bahamondes, though, is, he missed weight his last time out. He's a big guy. Probably should be at 170. And he's coming in here, and really the scale is going to be the battle for him. How much is that weight cut? I mean, he got hurt a lot against Makdessi. There's a fighter in this card we'll talk about weight cuts and how I think it affects him. This same thing could apply to Bahamondes. I mean, he got rocked by Makdessi, who's not really... he's a good striker, and he's got some power, but he's not like one touch, and Bahamondes got knocked around for a little bit in there and then battled back, showed some true toughness. Roosevelt Roberts can crack, but I'm more worried about him grappling in this fight. I'm more worried about him really pinning Bahamondes against the cage and trying to grab that neck. If Bahamondes engages in the grappling, Roberts has a great guillotine, great rear naked, he'll just take your fucking neck from you. Bahamondes is the bigger guy. He's a taller, longer guy, so I think it's going to be hard for Roberts to maybe get a neck unless gets a takedown, scramble up, catches a neck, or if Bahamondes decides to fucking take this guy down, which I hope he doesn't. This is my underdog play. I'm going to go Bahamondes. This is going to be my straight play. Maybe half unit, maybe 0.8 units. Nothing crazy. I'm not overly confident, but I came a point where I was so confident Bahamondes in his debut against McDessie, and I came on these airwaves and I was just bragging about this guy, how in love with I was in his skill and his personality and his fucking name, that I can't back off that. I feel like a phony. I feel like a fake, even though I think Roberts is a great fighter. Well, maybe not great. Let's slow down a little bit here, man. Let's slow down a little bit. A good fighter. Dude's tough as nails. He's fought some really good competition in there. He's had more than one UFC fight against Bahamondes, but I think I'm just trying to will myself not to be wrong about Bahamondes, and I'm going with him. This is a heart pick. If I was you, I might fade me on this, and unless you love Ignacio the way I do, I maybe would fade me on this because this is more of I want to be a right kind of pick. I want to fucking prove that I'm right. So that might differ in your part of the world, but I'm going to go Bahamondes here. Fun fight though. Great fight. Looking forward to this fight. And if you're going to critique me about, hey, this isn't the fight order. Tapology has this fight. Listen, the fights have been moving. This is what I got. Okay. I got a sheet here. This is what I got. Okay. Sorry, man. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. William Knight, -190 versus Fabio Charon, the Water Buffalo. This is kind of a who cares fight for me. I think both guys are very, very average. I think a lot of people like William Knight because he's short, he's powerful, he's fucking thick, but he got exposed his last time out against Dong Hoon Jun. I mean, he got taken down by a guy who doesn't take anybody down. Couldn't get up off his back. Fabio Charon got choked out by Alonzo Menefield. I'm going to take a drink real quick. I want you to process that. Fabio Charon got choked out by Alonzo Menefield. Yeah, that really happened. Charon, though, was an underdog in that fight. I picked him. I saw some of his stuff in the regional scene. Seems pretty good. These guys seem very, very similar. They're big. They're built, fairly well, fairly even, and they have similar styles. They both want to be on top. They don't want to be on bottom. William Knight, I think his stand-up is very average. I think people overestimate his stand-up for some reason. The key to victory is for him to get the fight to the ground and pound out Charon. I think that's Charon's victory as well. I think Charon actually might have the edge in the stand-up a little bit. Knight might have the edge in the power. The Water Buffalo is such a great nickname. He let me down in his debut. This is going to be a complete pass for me. I'm not touching this fight. I feel like I'm a little too emotional because Charon got choked out by Menefield and made me look like an idiot. I hold grudges. But there's two similar in my opinion. And I can't predict who's better at what because, like I said, they're both so similar. So if Knight gets the fight where he wants it, he'll win. If Charon gets the fight where he wants it, he'll win. That's the most vague saying ever. But you know what I mean? Like, Charon needs to be on top. Knight needs to be on top. If it's a stand-up thing, I kind of lean Charon. But he could get caught by Knight because Knight does have big power. I think both these guys are going to probably get the fight to the ground at some point, or at least going to look to get the fight to the ground. And with that being there, I'm going to go Knight. I'm going to go chalk here, -190. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have any super leans on this fight, if I'm being honest with you. I'm just going to go the chalky play. I'm going to go to square play and be done with it. All right, next up, B. Malecki, -155 versus Josian Nunez. I mean, do you see these pictures? I mean, I don't want to be the asshole. Okay, I don't want to do it, but I guess I'm going to have to. This is like Beauty and the Beast here. We got 5'9" versus 5'2". Malecki is like the Reddit queen. I mean, she gets shared all over Reddit. People love her revealing picks. She's a good Muay Thai boxer. Came in the Ultimate Fighter with no MMA fights. Obviously, she's 2-0, very young in his career. Nunez likes to strike as well. She's 5'2", and she's got that Brazilian record. She's fought just a bunch of bums in Brazil. They pad her record, right? You look and you're like, oh, she fought a girl that's 3-0. And then you click on her, like, okay, what has she done? She never fought again, right? Like, Nunez is 5'2" and likes to strike. Malecki's 5'9", has like 7 inches both ways, reach and height on her. And Nunez is just going to have to grapple. Malecki, obviously, he's probably been working pretty hard on her grappling. We haven't seen her in a little bit. Her striking tends to get wild, but I think she's just going to piece up Nunez here. I think she's just going to kick from the outside, beat her up on the feet. Nunez is just going to be so hard to close that distance. I don't think she has the grappling in her to really expose Malecki. Maybe she does, but I don't think she does. I think if she goes in for some takedown, she could be in trouble. Maleki's big, strong. Her last fight against Machado, she faded a little bit. But Machado, excuse me, I said Machado. Machado is better than Nunes. And I got to imagine since Maleki's been away, she's getting better. So I like Maleki big here at minus 155. This could be a parlay piece. This could be a straight bet if you like it. I don't think this is a bowl of spaghetti fight. I think we got one really good kickboxer versus one padded record who fancies herself as a kickboxer, but she's just undersized and overmatched. So I'm going Maleki. I think you should hammer it. 155 is interesting. Never do you think I'm going to come on here and tell you to hammer a 2-0 prospect, essentially a kickboxer, but that's what I'm doing. I'm coming on and telling you to hammer Maleki. I just think physically and everything that entails, she's better. I think she's better, and I think she's going to make this look quite easy. She's going to roll. She's going to roll. I like a finish in that fight as well, prop-wise. All right, next up, Brian Kelleher versus Domingo Pilarte. Kelleher minus 170. Domingo Pilarte plus 150. So I was high on Domingo Pilarte coming into the Contender Series. He beat Andre Yanez, split decision, very close fight. He had some good wins. Big guy for 135. Comes into Contender Series, gets dropped bad, comes back rear naked choke. He fights Journey Newsom 18 months ago. Devin, former podcast picker, was all over Newsom. I was all over Pilarte. We had a lock-off. This is what I fucking remember. Lock-off. I had Pilarte. He had Newsom. Newsom was the underdog. Pilarte was the favorite. Pilarte gets starched in 30-something seconds, right? Embarrasses me. Haven't fought since. That fight actually got thrown out as a no contest during Newsom, like smoke some pot or something. Enter Brian Boom Kelleher, who really cleaned up during COVID. Made a lot of money during COVID. Was up at 45. He's tweeting a lot about 135 or weight cutting sucks and all this. If his weight cut sucks, you got to imagine Pilarte. Pilarte's 6 foot, fucking huge 135er. That concerns me. Earlier, we were talking about Baham Mendez cutting all that weight and his chin's going. I think Pilarte's the same way. He's been dropped before. I think this is just not doing him any good. Putting this strain on his body, these hard weight cuts. I know everyone wants to be bigger in there and they want to have the size advantage in this, and he's got a size advantage on Kelleher. I don't know the reach. I mean, Kelleher's probably 5'6", 5'7". Pilarte's 6 foot. I'm sure the reach is enormous. I could look it up, but I'm not gonna. But Pilarte, obviously, his one fight, Felipe Corrales fight, where he took the fight to the ground, he didn't throw much. He just laid on the ground. I don't think you're going to be able to do that with Kelleher. Kelleher's got a great front choke, great guillotine choke. He'll take your fucking neck. Good boxing as well. I see Kelleher being the shorter man, obviously, stepping into a big right hand, big left hook. Kelleher's got good boxing. Tough as nails. Hard to get out of there. Pilarte gets wild with his strikes. He likes to stay long, but he's fucking crazy wild sometimes. You get inside that pocket, and that's where all the power is for Kelleher, and I think he can catch Pilarte's chin here. I'm going Brian Kelleher. I'm fairly confident in this fight as well. Minus 170 isn't the price I love. I think he's gone up. He might be a boost. I think I read somewhere on Twitter that he might be a boost on FanDuel or DraftKings. Maybe check that out. Maybe if that's in your area available, if you play with those books, check that out, because I am confident in this fight. I think Brian Kelleher can kind of win everywhere. I think the only way he loses if he has a bad weight cut, because he is complaining about it a little bit, and if Pilarte just pushes such a pace, because he is a sized up dude, takes Kelleher down, and Kelleher just can't get off his back, right? I don't see that happening, because Kelleher threatens with that guillotine. He works pretty well. His jiu-jitsu's pretty solid, but Pilarte is a big fucking boy. He could do it. But again, I just see I envision Kelleher stepping in to that boxing, getting in that boxing range and landing shots, and Pilarte going night. That's what I envision. That's what I see here. I like Kelleher. I'm all over Kelleher here. That's nothing, right? I don't have any locks in that. Okay, next up. Here we go. Luis Saldana, minus 130. He's came down to 120. I just saw this today, so he's a little lighter. Austin Lingo, plus 110, plus 100. This fight is maybe we'll close as a pick'em. Both prospecty guys. Lingo had a big kind of career outside the UFC. A lot of quick knockouts, came in the UFC. He hasn't done super well. Saldana coming off the Contender Series, had a debut against Jordan Griffin where a lot of people thought he lost. Very ugly fight. He gassed in that fight, but the Vince Murdoch fight is what I'm looking at in this fight. Austin Lingo, primarily a boxer, likes to go forward, likes to swing, is a tough dude. Similar build to Vince Murdoch, maybe a little taller. And then Saldana is just a long rangey striker, likes to move, likes to kick. And he pieced up. He fucked up Vince Murdoch. Saldana did. On the contenders. He really, really did. I think the fight's going to look a lot like that. I'm actually really confident in this pick for some reason. I see a lot of sharps on Twitter picking Lingo as the dog play here. I have no disagreement with that, except that I do. Luis Saldana, I think, is going to win this fight. Lingo is a big, powerful puncher, but if he doesn't get you out in that first round, he's going to slow down. But Saldana slowed down his last time out. Jordan Griffin put a real nice pressure on him, and Jordan Griffin kind of does that to everybody. He tries to break people, and it can happen, right? Saldana needs to be on his bike, needs to be striking from the outside, needs to be cutting angles, doesn't need to be going straight back, needs to be throwing head kicks, body kicks, whatever he can do to slow down Lingo, and then Lingo eventually slow down and Saldana can take over. I initially really liked a finish by Saldana in this fight, but the more I look at it, I think this is going to be a sneaky good fight. That's going to, not a sneaky good fight. I think a lot of people may be looking at this for a good fight. It's going to be a fight where it's going to be interesting how it's going to be scored, because you got one guy going to come forward, get pieced up, land some good shots probably if he doesn't put Saldana out, and Saldana going to be on his bike a little bit, landing shots as well. I see Lingo walking into some head kicks. He fought Jacob Kilburn, who stinks, Lingo did. And he walked into some spinning shit when he fought Kilburn, who's no longer in the UFC. So, I don't know. I'm going to go Saldana. I just don't trust Austin Lingo. I think his tattoos suck too. I mean, look at his tattoos. Look at them. If you're just audio only, everybody takes podcasts on YouTube, you'll see these guys' tribal tattoos. Oh, get those covered up, bro. It's terrible. All right, next up. Alexandra Pantoja, minus 165 versus Brandon Roval, plus 145. This is a motherfucking fight, y'all. It's a fucking fight. I love this fight. I love this matchup. For Pantoja, I really wish Roval, who I think has some superstardom, I think has some flashes to be good, right? He lost to Moreno because he blew his shoulder out, but it was a fun fight. Has some good wins before that. He got Kai Car-France out of there. And I'm blanking on the other name that he won against. But 2-1 in the UFC. Looked good against the champ in the beginning. Then blew his shoulder out. Had shoulder surgery. Now he's back. Pantoja, though, is just such a rock steady pro. This guy's been in there with everybody. The only knock I can come up with Pantoja is that sometimes he just doesn't let it go. The Mel Cop fight, I thought he lost because he was hesitant. He's a black belt on the ground. He's got good kicks. He's got good punches. Sometimes I just don't know if he believes in himself, or sometimes I think he's just in his own head. Roval's going to bring that out of him. Roval's a crazy dude. Roval's going to go out there and say some crazy shit. Wants to get in scrambles. Wants to hit you with some stuff you don't see. That's what hurts you. He's going to mix it up. And I think that's going to bring the best out of Pantoja. I think Pantoja needs a guy like that to come after him so we can see his old game. Because Cop, when they fought, they were both timid, right? When you got a guy like Roval coming at you, which I think he will, I think that favors Pantoja, believe it or not. This is a Timbo bet. Me and my boy Timbo are betting this fight. He's a Brandon Roval guy. I'm a Pantoja. $20 cash app. He's getting the plus money side to him, but hey, Timbo.
Not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, bud. Alexandra Pantoja is going to win this fight. I think he's going to win it probably by decision. 3-round decision, maybe 29-28. I think there's going to be a close round in there, but Roval, I want to see him in 3 rounds. I want to see how he can go because, like I said, he's a crazy guy. Is he kill or be killed? Does he have skills to go 3 rounds? How's that shoulder? How's this? You're fighting a really tough fucking guy coming back, and Roval, I think, is a burgeoning star. You're giving him a guy like Pantoja who's fought fucking everybody, and win, lose, or draw has looked respectable and has won some good fights. So I'm going Pantoja here. That's good. That's good sauce there. Here we go. Vince Pichel. Vince from hell. Pichel versus Austin Hubbard. Pick'em fight. Minus 110 each. So, both very similar fighters. Vince Pichel has been fighting UFC for a million years. He only has 8 fights, right? His mustache is glorious. He's fucking burned me a few times. Namely, the Roosevelt Robert fight. I believe I was all over Roosevelt Roberts here, and Vince Pichel just manned him. Just fucking manned him. Austin Hubbard, again, is a very similar fighter to Vince Pichel. He is a grinder. He's not a huge finisher. He's not going to necessarily choke you out. He could knock you out, but he's tough. Gets his legs kicked up. He's been out grappled before. He never seems to get tired. He's got a good mindset on him. This guy's got a fucking nice mindset on him. However, Vince Pichel is just a man. That's what it is, boys. He's a fucking man in there with that motherfucking mustache. He's strong. Yes, he's getting old, but Hubbard's wins come from guys that fade. Max Rokoff, let's not bring it up. Mark Madsen, who's fighting on this card as well. He lost that fight, but he really came on good in that third round. Hubbard just doesn't go away. He's hard to submit, and he just keeps going. The problem is he keeps going because the other guys fade. Vinny Purcell ain't fading, babe. This dude's going to be in your face for 3 rounds. The Jim Miller fight, I don't know if he faded, but Jim Miller definitely gave him some scares in that third round off his back submissions. But overall, Vince Pichel looked pretty solid in that fight and just manned him. This is just a fucking man versus a boy fight right now. Vince Pichel with that glorious mustache. I'm going Vinny Pichel. A fight I'm probably going to bet. I didn't like betting it earlier in the week. And the more I keep coming back to some of these fights, this one I keep coming back to because I kind of flip-flopped a little bit early on in the week. And then I go, but how is Hubbard going to win? He ain't going to outman Vinny Pichel. So I got to go from hell Pichel, man. I got to go with it. And decision. I think that's if you don't want to play money line, I mean, these are going to decision. I see someone said on Twitter that Pichel was 20-1 by submission, which could happen. I mean, he does have some submissions on the record. I don't know about that. But if you're getting 20-1 on anything, you might want to dabble that a little bit there. Little sprinkles. But Vinny Pichel all the way. Pick 'em fight. I think this fight's going to be either really boring or very entertaining. They're either going to hug each other in the cage and play kiss, or they're going to get after it with some scrambles and just fucking throw cautions at a win. Either way, Vince, the man Pichel, I know it doesn't rhyme, sorry, I think is winning this fight. All right, next up. All right, here we go. I don't have a line for this fight. I know lines have came out. As of taping, I didn't have a line. I believe Jones opened up as a favorite, and now it's a lot closer. If I'm not mistaken here. So let me this fight again was supposed to be Manny Martinez. So Trevin Jones, right here. He is fighting. Here we go. You guys ready for this? This is what y'all tune in to see. He is fighting Sadyukub Karamanov. Kakamanov. I'm gonna say Karamanov because that last name's a fucking nightmare. 8-2. I didn't know anything about this kid. I looked him up. A lot of people like this kid, and I said, "Well, okay, let's check him out here." And his claim to fame is he lost to Umar Nurmagomedov by decision in the PFL. He's been knocked out by Pipa Vargas there, but that was a 3rd round fight. He got caught. Beat Asker as well, which is a good win. Tracy Lynn, another solid win. Or excuse me, Tycan Lynn. That was a guy that a name was circling for a little bit. He knocked him out in the 2nd round. This guy, Karamanov, if I'm pronouncing that right, which I'm not. Good striker, good grappler, a grinder. I love the picture with the mask. Looks like a savage. Taking the fight on short notice. He has missed weight before. He's fighting Trevin Jones, who I think is just a big boy. Here's what's crazy about Trevin Jones. Manny Martinez, who he was supposed to fight, was going to be my underdog lock. I looked at that fight. I thought Manny had the cleaner striking. I thought Jones has that one-touch power, but I thought Manny could piece him up from the outside and just be quicker, in and out. It's going to be a fun fight. Jones is just a big, powerful dude, and he hits like a motherfucking truck, apparently. But before his UFC career, he didn't really have many knockouts. It's actually, I think he's from Guam, right? A lot of his fights that I saw, excuse me, on the regional scene were fucking pedestrian. They're fucking average at best. And he's coming to UFC and he's sleeping 2 good guys. I know the first fight against the fucking Russian guy, I can't blank his name. I'm blanking his name. He's getting dominant. Hurt to the body, hurt to the head, and then just one punch out. Mario Batista, very close fight in the first round. Batista maybe edged out. and then just fucking slump them with one punch. I don't think that's going to happen here. I'm going to take Karamanov here. If that's how you pronounce his name, probably not. I like him in the grappling. Everyone's saying, well, Trevin Jones is a good black belt. He is a good grappler. I haven't seen it. There's a lot of black belts out there that are shit. Mickey Gall's a black belt. Even though I know Mickey Gall just won by submission, that dude's a black belt, and he's been embarrassed on the ground. I think Karamanov is a solid striker. I think he's knows what to expect against Trevin Jones. My only issue, and this is probably going to keep me from betting it unless Karamanov is a giant dog, which I don't think he is, because I think the sharps have read into it. Trevin Jones can take a beating. The guy's hard to finish. He's got a good mental. You can kick his ass for 3 rounds. He's hanging in there. Karamanov taking this fight on short notice. What's the cardio like? Were you training for a fight? It's just you going, listen, I want to get in UFC. I want to see him on the scales. Lot to be desired in this fight. I think this is a good live betting fight as well. But I'm going to go Karamanov. I think he's the dog, so this might be a little bit of a dog play. Not really sure. Again, on the lines, DraftKings, which I have open right now, does not have this line, I believe. Yeah, let me take a look. Pantoja, yeah, it does not have the line. Best Fight Odds might have the line. Some books might have it. The books that I play but do not have it. I mean, fucking FanDuel still has Manny Martinez. Get it together, FanDuel, for fuck's sake. All right, so where was I at there? Okay, now I lost my spot. Is that what it is? Okay, there we go. Here we go. We're talking big motherfucking boys. Chase Sherman minus 190 plus Parker Porter plus 160. Parker Porter, please open a steakhouse, man. Parker Porter is the name of a steakhouse that I would eat at, and I don't eat steak. I'm not a vegetarian. I just don't like steak. But I eat a steak at a Parker Porter steakhouse. I'll tell you that right now. So this fight for me all week was cut and dry. Chase Sherman, the better fighter. Then I go, you know what, Brian? Do your due diligence and look up some tape. Dig into the big boys. Because, you know, I kind of dismiss the big boys a little bit, if I'm being honest with you. You know, heavyweight action isn't my favorite action sometimes, at least on the lower level. But I go and look it up, right? Chase Sherman had some steroid issues, and he's come back and fought Andre Arlovski, commendable fight, but mentally it looked like he broke a little bit. You know, he's complaining about his leg. He was in his corner complaining the whole time. Toughed it out, right? Mississippi Mean Boy went to bare knuckle, had some success over there. Really good first-round fighter. This dude comes out in that first round and is good. He's athletic. He's 6'5". He can move. His ground game's dog shit, but he can stand up. He likes to go forward. He likes to throw leg kicks, and he likes to land punches. Parker Porter, 6 foot, portly guy, got titties on him, but durable, right? He beat Josh Priest in his last time out. He got knocked out by Chris Dawkins, who's on a run. Fought Josh Priest, who is a guy that likes to throw some spinning shit. Big kid too, and it was a fucking dog fight. Porter just pressed him against that cage and threw big shots. It was bloody. It was ugly. It was a big boy fight. But I just don't think Parker Porter is this high level guy. However, digging into their fights, Porter gets stronger as the fight goes on. He's not a big puncher. He's a cumulative guy, and he gets stronger as the fight goes. And then you got Chase Sherman, who kind of breaks a little bit if he doesn't get you out of there. I mean, he can win a decision. He's athletic. I mean, he has the ability, but he slowly doesn't do all that well. So my initial reaction was Chase Sherman by finish, and I have that written down, and I'm going to go with this. Could be my send him home. Send him home early. So this could be my send him home. Chase Sherman. I'm picking Chase Sherman. I have a bet with my guy Christian. Hey, Christian,
not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
You're not that guy, bud. But I am getting a little pause. This was going to be a part of my slime ball. It is not. I like Chase Sherman that much, but then when I really dug deep, I'm like, man, if Parker gets out of that first round, Chase goes back to his corner and complains about his fucking tampon hurting, and complains about his fucking baby toe or whatever, and starts to mentally break. You got Parker Porter over there playing his fucking after-fight meal. This motherfucker doesn't care. So I'm getting pause now, right? I don't know if I'm going to bet it. The line is wide. My advice, if I'm being honest with you, is maybe take a stab at Parker. And if you're in a state that can live bet this fight. See how the first round goes, because my send him home is going to be predicated on the fact that Chase might get him out of there in the first round. I like the leg kicks. I like the power from Chase, and I like the athleticism. I don't like the fact that he was on juice. I don't like the fact that he's on steroids, because now you're coming off steroids. Where's your cardio at? Where's your mental at? Where's your whatever? Parker Porter, listen, if I'm going to steal a quote from Johnny Hendricks. If this guy's on steroids, he needs a refund. Because the guy, I fucking look better than Parker Porter. You know what I mean? But I'm good to go Sherman here. A fight that I was very confident in now is giving me some real motherfucking pause. All right, co-main event, Clay Guida. Clay Guida, the dude, plus 145 versus Mark O. Manson. Minus 165 here. Manson is now at a minus 155 as I was looking up today. Listen, MMA community, okay? I tweeted out last week on our off week for UFC that Manson was 160 and I had him 3-1, right? And I loved it, right? I circled it. I was like, I'm going to hammer this, right? Told the guys. I was early. I don't ever get that early. That's why I like doing podcasts a little bit later in the week. I don't want to be the first guy to put out content because my opinions change. I want to be locked in. Wednesday, Thursday is a really good spot for me. But everyone on Twitter, guys I respect, guys I like, are shitting all over Mark Manson. They're saying, don't bet him, fade him. This guy's trash. And I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. Am I slipping? Because I watched tape. I know Clay. Mark Manson, silver medalist in the Olympics, Greco-Roman, undefeated in the UFC. And I go, am I missing something? Right? So then I dug deeper. I got on the socials, right? Mark Manson's at Fight Ready. He's in Arizona. Brought his Danish boys with him. Martin Kampmann. Respect Martin Kampmann. Brought his guys with him. And looks in a phenomenal shape. Broke his jaw his last time out. Finished the fight, broke his jaw, right? After he broke his jaw, he got it infected, had to have another surgery. Then he got COVID. Then his fucking wife got diagnosed with MS. He's been out for a while. He's 36. His stand-up looks pretty average according to the pads I've seen him hit. But what that tells me is this dude is just going, I'm 36. I'm going to learn stand-up. I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to be held accountable. But I'm wrestling dudes. I'm slamming dudes on their fucking head. Now, Clay Guida, he's a wrestler. He's known for his cardio, right? Not known for his striking, even though he outstruck fucking BJ Penn, which broke my heart. His boxing, okay. His durability is great. His cardio is fantastic, but he's going to be 40. His cardio's a little dwindling a little bit. No one wants to admit it, but it is. He's slowing down just a little bit. Clay gives up his neck quite a bit. The fights that I've watched Manson in, he attacks necks really well. This is his first fight camp at Fight Ready, which I think is a very underrated camp. He's working with Cejudo. They probably sat him in there and say, you're 36 years old. You're an Olympic silver medalist. You're a world championship silver medalist, gold medal. No, I know he's never won gold, but you know what I mean? High level Greco-Roman. We're not going to turn you into Mike Tyson. We're not going to you're not going to be sitting there sleeping dudes. Maybe we'll work on it, but you could probably take anybody down in the division. Let's get that submission going. This is just all me in my head. Let's get those submissions going. Clay Guida likes to wrestle, but Clay Guida defensively is not the best wrestler. He's been taken down. He's been choked out before. He's been worked on the mat, right? Mark Manson, the only thing that scares me, obviously, is not to stand up because Clay doesn't have big power. I don't think he's knocking out Manson. I think he can probably get the better Manson on the feet because Clay does have some okay boxing. He's got a good head kick, the sneaky little head kick, but his boxing's very pushy. But, you know, it's better than Manson's. I'll give him on the edge on the feet, but I think Manson knows he's got to get this fight to the ground. Clay likes to scramble. When Clay scrambles, fucking just a neck. Hubbard defended some really good darts, some really good chokes against Manson. I think Manson's time away, he's going to be working on that. I know he's had a lot to deal with. A lot of people are fading because of all the things in his life. I understand that, but this is going to be a reputation fight because I gave this out a week ago saying Manson should be 3-1. I like what I see of this guy. He's tough. He's durable. He's mean in there. He knows what he's good at. I hate that he's 36. I actually thought he was a little younger when I was researching him. You know, he's not a guy that I follow religiously, but I thought he was a little bit younger. I thought he's like 33, 34. 36, going to be 37, but he's fighting a much older Clay Guida. Much older, not too much older in age, but much older in MMA. Clay Guida's got like 50, 60 fights or something like that. I'm going Mark Manson here, and I'm saying fuck everyone else. Fuck all the people on Twitter. I don't know what they're saying on the podcast. I got to listen to them. I have a busy day tomorrow. I got 3 podcasts I listen to, guys I respect, but I'm locking this up. It's my best bet too. Mark Manson, minus 155 now. Currently, he's dropped some points. A lot of people are reading what he's gone through. I hope they drop some more. I think Manson's just the better wrestler. I think he's the better scrambler. And I think it's like plus 500 for him to win by submission. That's not crazy to me. I think he can take Clay's neck. Clay's been submitted multiple times by chokes, by rear naked chokes, and I think Manson can get it at Fight Ready. Looks to be in great shape. I saw pictures of him on Twitter today in his Venom kit, and he looks to be in primo shape. He needs to be, because the only way this fight goes sour, in my opinion, dominates the first round, takes Clay down, very similar to the Hubbard fight. Second round, maybe he slows down, Clay speeds up. Third round, Clay could possibly take over. We're getting a fucking close decision. That's what I don't want. I want Mark Manson to be going in there killing him. I want ground and pound. I want chokes. I want everything. He appears to be in really good shape and in a really good spot. 18 months with a lot of stuff that is not great for a 36-year-old who's only got 10 fights, but going to Fight Ready, leaving his country, going to Arizona tells me that he wants to improve, and he's got to be improving. Because, again, that camp is, they know how to work with people. They really, truly do. All right, here we go. Main event time. Jared Cannonier, minus 155 versus Kelvin Gastelum, plus 135. So this is obviously the first fight that I capped on this card because it's the main event. And first thing I wrote down here was uneasy. This fight makes me very uneasy. Jared Cannonier had a nice run there where he had the champion talking about him. He had Izzy Adesanya talking about him. He had saying he's a dark horse of the division. He's knocking out Jack Hermanson. He beat an aging Anderson Silva. Coming down to 85, he looks absolutely shredded. He's a crystal guy. The motherfucker wears crystals around his neck. And he kind of really, a lot of people bought into him. And then he runs into Robert Whittaker. Lost every second of that fight except in that third round where he caught Whittaker at the very end, but was getting fucked up, looked slow, looked like he got tired, broke his arm, his face was caved in, but he never gave up. His will to win was crazy. Enter Kelvin Gastelum, who looked amazing as Izzy Adesanya, the only guy in the UFC to drop Adesanya, 2-2 going in the fifth. I was there live. It was an unbelievable fight. Incredible heart by Gastelum. The guy doesn't quit, even if he's dog tired. Great chin on him. After that fight, he really kind of fell off a cliff. He got submitted by Hermanson quick. He lost to Darren Till and just went do nothing. He's got kind of a bullshit win over Ian Heinisch where he just became a wrestler again. And then he's coming off a 5-round loss to Robert Whittaker, where Whittaker was just a step ahead, similar to the Cannonier fight. I do see people picking Kelvin. I respect that. Plus 135, I understand it. I think Kelvin is supremely talented. I always felt like I'm not an advocate for weight cutting. I've mentioned guys who shouldn't be cutting weight on this podcast. I've mentioned it before. But I think Kelvin could maybe benefit for 170. I really do. He's a little undersized at 185, but provides speed there. Kelvin's punches looked super fast on his initial run at 185 against Jacare, against Bisping, against Adesanya. His punches seem a little labored to me. They don't seem as quick. His left hand doesn't seem as deadly. Cannonier is a very slow guy. He comes in there. He does everything kind of perfect, right? He's very traditional. Hands up, really good, powerful kicks. Likes to stay long with his jabs. Likes to stay long with his pawing right hand. Doesn't really open himself much up. Doesn't swing wild unless he has you hurt. Big, powerful, strong guy that likes to stay here, right? Kelvin could exploit that because I think Kelvin has faster feet and faster hands. This fight makes me uneasy because I like Cannonier. I'm going to pick Cannonier here. This might be a pass for me. I always like betting the main events, but I don't have like a clean read on it because even though I like Kelvin Gastelum and I like Cannonier, and I think Cannonier is a nice prospect. He is 37. He is getting older. Kelvin, I think, has a lot of talent, fell off a cliff, seems to be coming back. He's taking this fight on not short notice, but he stepped up for Costa. I feel like that's not going to be too big of an issue because I don't know if the weight cut is, I don't know if he's missed. Has he missed 185 before? Which is kind of a joke. He's not a big guy. I've seen him in person. He's not a big guy. 185 is a little too big for him. And Cannonier is a guy that fought a heavyweight, and he's fighting a guy that's fought a welterweight. It's crazy how MMA works. I'm going to go Cannonier here. Well, this is my face on it. I don't know. I really don't know. I like to be honest, transparent with you. I can sit here and say, hey, man, sign up to my Patreon, $25 a month, and I'll give you all these picks for free. And then I get on the Patreon and go, I have no idea. You're not going to get that from me. I really don't know. I think this could be a good fight. I think this could be an exciting fight. Dog money is interesting here. I just think Cannonier might be slightly the better fighter. 5 rounds is a big fucking thing as well. Gastelum has went 5 rounds. He's got to knock that on numerous occasions. He's got to knock that. He's not a cardio king, but he likes to pace himself. Cannonier doesn't overexert himself, picks his shots, is a slow starter. Whatever the over-under is round, over 2.5, over 3.5. I like that. I don't see a finish happening here. See a decision happening. I think that might be the play I'm going to go with. And Cannonier there for the win. Cannonier for the win. All right, slime ball parlay. As I said before, you're only going to get the slime ball parlay on the podcast. So if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this, this is the only chance you're going to get the slime ball parlay. I'm not going to tweet it out. I'm going to try this for now. Okay, I'm going to try this for now. So here it is. Here is the slime ball parlay. I need to get a little jingle. So we got Brian Cannonier at -170. I really like Cannonier against Domingo Pilarte. The only issue would be Pilarte just laying on him. I don't know how that happens. I don't think it happens. That's why I have Cannonier. Pantoja at -165. I just think he's too much for Reval right now. I think he's fought the better competition. I think Reval is a star. I think he could be really good. He's a young kid. I just don't think his time's now. I think Pantoja is just going to be a little too good everywhere for him. And then Mark O. Madsen -155. I have not made this bet yet. I haven't had time to go to Indiana. I will make it tomorrow or Saturday morning. I'm watching these fights at my in-laws' house. So hopefully that brings me some good luck. But it's 1 unit at +311. 3-1 on your money. That's what I'm taking this as. Mark Madsen, again, this third fighter here, it was always Cannonier and it was always Pantoja were the 2 guys I had. The third fighter was Sherman and was Saldana and Manson. It started off Manson, and then it went Sherman, then it went Saldana, and then back to Manson because a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of guys I fuck with are getting in my head about Manson, and I'm like, no, Brian, fucking you're the man. You fucking, this is your slime ball, goddammit. Don't let anybody fucking tell you otherwise. So let me reiterate, since I'm not giving this out on Twitter, we got Brian Cannonier at -170. We got Alexandro Pantoja -165. Marco Manson at -155. I think he's dropping a little. No, that's current. That's current. 1 unit, 1 whole unit at +311, 3-1 on your money. How does that lose? I don't think it does, baby. And let's go full screen here on audio. That's it. That's the show. We did it, boys. We picked a perfect card. A perfect card. As always, subscribe to MMA Takes Podcasts on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever you call it now, Spotify as well. Get me 100 subscribers on YouTube. That's where you're watching this. Hey, you're watching this on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, share it, do whatever you got to do, like it. I don't know, whatever they say, okay? I'm giving away shit here. A video's coming next week where when I get to 100 people, I'm giving away something that inspiring podcasters, inspiring Twitch streamers, gamers, whatever you want to call them, people that need equipment that don't have a good equipment. You want to sound good, you want to look good, you're going to want to subscribe to me because I'm giving it away for free. Giving you something away for free. You're going to want it. I promise. That's it. That's the show. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. We out of here.